to me is to be like a big piece of debris, moved debris from the river. And then Riley actually then floated to the surface. And then that's how they were able to find Riley. Then there was another piece of debris in the way, and then they moved that. And Riley's body then came up out of that. Debris. No, I say debris on purpose. It's an inside joke. There's a woman that we refer to as Debris. Her name's Checkmate Humanity. You know why I call her Debris? Because she's trash. And she tried to pass her name off as Debor Bix. And when you type in Debor, it transferred the name to Debris. So, Debris. And she ain't even half black. Fuck her. So when you come around to the channel, you will know that that's who Debris is, and it's on purpose. I hope that I know what debris is. But she pure trash. And she tried to join my nonprofit under a fake name. Who joins a nonprofit under a fake name? And her name was Deborah Bix. What a lunatic. What a lunatic. Language. Ouch. Yeah, bye. Debris. There you go. Shake it up.
Ayo. Ayo. Debris on the take. You got your Debris here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Checkmate Humanity on a Friday night. Lovely to see you all here. Hello, Lilbit and Kathy and Harlot and Truth Exposed and Amazing and Anonymous and Scout and Mel and Chiptooth and I think I said Mel already and Doors, and there's probably some people in that talked in the chat earlier who are not still here, but will probably be here later. Hello, Liberty. Hello, Stacy. So that little clip reel I just showed you was from one of Lana's streams, actually 2 of Lana's streams today. And I want to give Chiptooth Fairy the credit for making me aware of that. I had no idea. And I think it's, you probably didn't catch most of that clip reel. So I'm going to play it for you again and react a little bit to it as we're waiting for a bit for more people to come in. Because it's kind of funny to me. This clip reel is kind of funny to me. And just to set some context into place here, Lana has been covering the Riley Strain case. And by the way, my heart goes out to the family and friends and loved ones of Riley Strain. His body was found, and they don't know exactly what happened yet. But the police said no foul play. But anyway, she's been covering that case, and she did 2 streams today covering the fact that they found him. And she kept saying, I guess, apparently when they found him, one of the ways they found him was that there were some workers out on the lake, and they found there was like trash over him, and they were like lifting the trash, and as they lifted up the trash, he kind of came floating up. And she kept calling it, another word for trash is debris, right? But so when you see this word, I'm going to ask the chat. I'm just going to, put the question out to the chat. When you see this word, you probably see the word debris, right? But whenever she thinks of this word, it's almost, I believe, like a muscle memory to her to say debris instead of debris, even when she doesn't mean to. She's meaning to say debris, but she's so accustomed to saying debris that she says debris instead of debris. And that's what she was doing. She kept saying debris she kept saying that debris in that damn in her coverage. And then she explains to somebody who was like, another person, somebody, a few people in her chat were like, what the hell's debris? What is that? What the hell are you talking about? And so she goes on to explain, and that's what she was doing. So yeah. So she said, sidebar, this is what I'm talking about when I say debris. And they took a little bit of a sidebar to have that conversation. And so what I'm going to show this to you again just to point out how funny it is that she can't seem to say the word debris without saying debris. And then she tries to play it off as, oh, well, we just want to say this about her because she is trash. And, oh, by the way, her name is Checkmate Humanity, and her name is Trash. She is trash, and she signed up. The reason I think she's trash is because she signed up to my nonprofit with a fake name, and it was Deborah Bix. Now, I just want to remind you all that it was not a real nonprofit. It was a fake it was a fake nonprofit. So that in fact is defamation, isn't it, Black Knight? So so let's review this. Let's review this again real quick.
To me, is to be like a big piece of debris, moved debris from the river, and then Riley actually then floated to the surface, and then that's how they were able to find Riley. Then there was another piece of debris in the way, and then they moved that, and Riley's body then came up out of that. Debris. No, I say debris on purpose. It's an inside joke. There's a woman that we refer to as debris. Her name's Checkmate Humanity. You know why I call her debris? Because she's trash. And she tried to pass her name off as Deborah Bix. And when you type in Deborah, it transferred the name to debris. So, debris. And she ain't even half black. Fuck her. So when you come around to the channel, you will know that that's who debris is, and it's on purpose. I hope that I know what debris is. But she pure trash. And she tried to join my nonprofit under a fake name. Who joins a nonprofit under a fake name? And her name was Deborah Bix. What a lunatic. What a lunatic. Language. Ouch. Yeah, bye. Debris. There you go. Shake it up.
Okay, now I have questions. So first of all, what the hell does she mean when she says I ain't even half black? As she was typing the name, yes. What is that supposed to mean? I honestly, I seriously, I don't get it. I don't get what she meant by that. I honestly, I'm being completely serious. Why the hell does me not being half black have to do with being called debris? What the fuck? I seriously don't get it. I don't know what she means by that. Okay. But what's interesting to me is that, again, her channel at this point is much, much bigger than mine, right? And she's been able to grow her channel by basically making up all kinds of conspiracies about people. She makes up conspiracies about true crime cases, about true crime families, about true crime victims, and she also makes up conspiracies about true crime YouTubers and other YouTubers and things like that. And I honestly got to say, I think that if she, I'm not recommending that she do this because I hate the fact that she makes up conspiracies about these things. Okay. But if she had just continued only making conspiracies about true crime and not doing all these conspiracies about me and other people on YouTube, her channel would probably be much bigger than it already is, because YouTube's bread and butter is conspiracies. YouTube loves conspiracies, even more than drama. I mean, I'll say it. YouTube, but conspiracies are a little bit harder than. It seems like that anonymous now, Lucy. It seems like it might be semi that way, but I'm not sure. So that's one thing I just wanted to bring up. And is it really that smart of her to want to keep, if she thinks that what I say about her on my channel is so wrong and so off base and so trashy, why would she want people to know about this channel? Because the people who really don't know, who really don't know that much about her and are just stumbling onto her channel, because of Riley Strain or something like that. And she says, checkmate humanity. And they come over here and see what a piece of trash mouth she has. Do you like, the people who are reasonable and have critical thinking minds, does she actually think that's a good idea for her to bring attention to that? It's just, that's where her emotional response overrides her logic and her reasoning. Yeah. I'm always thanking her for the free promo. So I just wanted to address that really quickly. Now, I don't know if Chip Tooth Fairy is still here, but the other, that's the person who brought to my attention that they were talking, that she was talking about me today on her channel. But the other thing that Chip Tooth Fairy brought up is that she being Lana, showed her laptop on her screen today. And this is for people who are looking for an update on the legal front, on her criminal charges that she's facing in Ohio. I don't know anything but what I'm about to tell you. I am not in contact with either party in this case. I don't have any insider knowledge. I'm only, looking at the docket, which I'll show you right now. And then sometimes Lana is so sloppy. She's incredible. She's intentionally sloppy with other people's information, but she's also sloppy with her own information. So this is the docket. And there was supposed to be a trial on the 19th, which she announced also happens to be her birthday. But apparently the hearing date changed, or the trial date changed to the 15th. And so now it's on April 15th, tax day. And so that it got continued again. And these trials and these hearings and things, they get continued for any number of reasons. There are so many different reasons, and you can't tell from the docket. Okay. But she's the one who's always telling on herself. And I grabbed a screenshot of this, and this is what she showed on her own screen today, which was an email from an email exchange. And I'm not doxing anybody, because you can't really see who's who or anything like that. But in the first line of this email from the paralegal to Lana, from the paralegal in Lana's lawyer's office, the paralegal says to Lana, it is not considered resolved until you enter a plea, until you have entered a plea. So it's possible that some sort of plea, that's fine, Doors, whatever, I don't care. that some sort of plea is underway. So who knows? Don't know, have no idea, but we will see. Um, her day, her birthday was on the 19th, on the day that trial was supposed to happen. Harlot. So I just wanted to update you on those things. And I also wanted to address something. I don't know if Tony Martinez is still here. I wanted to address something Tony Martinez said here. That is, and that's before I get to the main event and telling you why I believe Lana very well could be Rocketman. And make no mistake, if Lana had the amount of circumstantial evidence that I believe we have on Lana about Rocketman, she would be out here declaring it's 100% fact and she's proving it. Okay. And she has, in fact, done that to several people in this community. She has come out and said that I'm Rocketman, that Nina in Europe is Rocketman, that I think she said that Father Snuffles is Rocketman. She has said, and I'm sure I'm missing some people that she has said is Rocketman. I'm sure that there are people here in the chat that she has said is Rocketman. So she has gone out and definitively accused several people who I'm sure 99.999% of them are innocent, has accused all of them of being the revenge prawning Rocketman. So, and she did it with very little logic, very little reason, and very little evidence. And so that's what we're gonna talk about, is why I believe, and it was Godspilla's last video, which I'm going to show you several clips from, that helped me get to this point, and I'll talk you through it, but it takes a little context, okay? But I want to address what Tony Martinez said, which was, it's up here somewhere. Where is it? Are you still there, Tony Martinez? Hold on. I wonder if Tony Martinez erased it. La 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 la. Still scrolling through the chat, looking for that comment. I'll still address it if the comment isn't there anymore. Oh well. I guess either I'm not seeing it or Tony Martinez addressed it. Lala's Rocketman, right? Hey Lala. So Tony Martinez said something to the effect of, Lynn, you hold all the chips in this battle. You hold all the aces in this battle. Siesta time. And I wasn't sure if Tony meant siesta time for me, that I need to give it a rest. Oh, that's right. She accused Ludovica of being Rocketman as well. Of course. Yes. So, and I'm going to address all of that. So Tony Martinez said something like, siesta time. So I'm not sure if Tony Martinez meant it's siesta time for you, Lynn. Lynn, give it a rest. And if that's what Tony Martinez meant, I respect anybody's opinion that wants to say that. That there's nothing wrong with that. But I just want to reframe this a little bit for you all, because I don't see what I do here as a battle. Okay. I'm not engaged in any sort of a battle with anybody. I'm doing what I did from the very beginning. And I'm doing what any YouTuber does. They notice what another YouTuber does or somebody else does in the world, and they give commentary on it or critique or something like that. Because of my commentary and my critique, she engaged in a battle that I responded to. Now, did I respond with battling maneuvers? I don't know. That's that's for other people to decide. But honestly, what I have been doing is providing information to viewers and to the community about what another YouTuber is doing. And I ended up doing a lot of documentation on her because she was accusing me of, or she was threatening lawsuits on me. And if you are threatened by a lawsuit and you don't start documenting, I'm sorry, but you're going to lose that case. you're not you're not doing what you need to do to prepare to go to court. But we're not in that stance anymore. I'm just a content creator who feels very passionate, very, very passionate about not using social media as a weapon. And Lana doesn't just use social media as a weapon. She uses it as a tool, as a grooming mechanism. She uses it as a place to chum and troll for more people to bring into her criminal enterprise, and then chew them up and spit them out. And they end up on the outside after being on the inside going, what the hell just happened to me? And she wastes time. And after she chews up and abuses these people, she takes them to court saying that they did things to her that she has clearly done to them. And a lot of times these people have responded to her and it looks like they're being abusive to her. But if you really stand back and look at things objectively, she is the aggressor. She is the aggressor. So anyway, I just wanted to address those things. I just see myself as another content creator who's calling out and critiquing another content creator who is misusing, exploiting, and abusing the platform and other people. And hey, JP. So that's what I see. Now, let me set up some context for why I am now convinced, after watching Godspilla's last video, that Lana is Rocketman. I'm going to set a little bit of context here. So, I'm going to give enough context to, as if some of you don't even know what Rocketman is. What the hell? Why do you keep saying Rocketman? So, Rocketman is an account that came into a chat during a sex scandal panel. Lana was being accused by several women in the community of threatening and blackmailing them with their nudes and their porn. And yeah, so that's what Rocketman is. It's an account. So the on May 27th, 2021, there was this panel. It was 6 hours long. It was on Natasha Cooper's channel, her Recline with Natasha Cooper. And the day before, Natasha had gone live and said, I'm not going to be on Lana's mock trial because she is, I've been hearing that she is blackmailing and threatening these women. And then the next day, Natasha went live again because a couple of the women were willing to come and talk about it on her channel. And I'm condensing this a lot. I'm condensing a lot of information. So feel free to ask questions as I go along. So as Natasha was, hosting this panel, and one of the people went up and said, yes, she's been, we've been having sexting and I've been feeling threatened and blah, 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 blah. as this panel is taking place, a account comes into the chat called Rocketman. And Rocketman, and I'll play this for you from Godspilla's video. Rocketman basically says, I just shot off a video. Yeah, the Rocketman said, I just shot off a video. And people went to that channel's account and looked and saw that it was porn from one of the people that Lana had been blackmailing. Okay. So immediately, people freaked out, and you're going to hear this. You're going to hear it because I'm going to play the clip from Godspilla's video. You're going to hear how people all of a sudden start kind of freaking out. And they all start immediately, assuming that it's Lana, because Lana had been threatening that. Lana had been threatening that very thing, right? And it was so chaotic and so messed up, and so much happened and so much has happened in the ensuing days since then, that I actually forgot some of the things that account said in the chat that are now in Godspilla's video, which I caught this time, which helped me put things together a little bit. All right. Now, after this Rocketman came in and said this thing, and the porn was shown and everybody freaked out, Lena went on a spree of accusing all kinds of other people of being Rocketman. Like I said, she's accused me, many other people. Rocketman was also, yes, just me, everything is reminding me. And if Delaney was here, she always reminds me too, that before going into Lana's chat, Rocketman was also in Lana's chat. Rocketman had gone into Lana's chat. And so, smelt it, dealt it. You smelt it, she dealt it. So yeah, that is true, Meles. So then she goes on this just spree of doing what she does. That, the minute something happens that either she did do or people are accusing her of doing, she immediately goes out and blames all kinds of other people. Well, I'm going to play some parts of She Sharded It. That's a good one, Godspilla. She sharded it. So one of the reasons that Godspilla's video helped put this together for me is that the first part of Godspilla's video reminds us of Lana's absolutely diabolical fixation on a whole other person before she came to YouTube. You've all seen how she gets incredibly fixated on people, right? She can be fixated on many people at a time, but her fixation, even when she's fixated on many people at a time, is scary. But imagine, like, she was scary fixated on this one person before she even came to YouTube. And that was Kim Kaufman. And I'm going to say her name here, even though Godspilla, I very much respect that Godspilla protected the names of the people in her video. I think I'm saying it out loud here because Kim Kaufman was extremely vocal about her role in all of this before. And, I've had several conversations with Kim. I don't think she would mind, being identified as that person. And I think also a lot of people in my chat will also know who who it is that Lana's talking about, in these, when she's talking about the types of stuff she does. So the first clip I'm going to play for you is from a Facebook post that Lana wrote on March 1st, 2021. Coincidentally, I think it might be coincidental that it's the same day that I posted my video, that my first video about Lana calling out, calling out the nonprofit and calling it a scam. She doesn't mention me or my video anywhere in her. Sorry, one moment. Let me see. I want to make sure I'm getting the right one here. She doesn't mention me anywhere in the Facebook post, but you could tell that she's being very defensive in general.
The following is a Facebook post that Lana posted.
She's being very defensive in general about the nonprofit because she's already been coming under fire about it. So I want you to hear what she does here in this March 1st Facebook post. What she does is she's addressing, concerns about the nonprofit. And she's at first doing some major heavy virtue signaling. I mean, just major heavy virtue signaling and patting herself on the back and, calling herself an amazing person. And then she goes into talking more about the nonprofit. And then she just devolves into this just heretical bullshit about the Watts relationship with Kim Kaufman and stuff like that. And you hear again, so you hear that she's fixated on Kim Kaufman. Now, just real quickly before I start playing this, for those of you who don't know who Kim Kaufman is, Kim Kaufman and Lana met on Facebook, and Kim Kaufman ended up establishing a relationship with the Watts family. And I believe that that's how Lana was able to get her introduction to the Watts family, was through Kim Kaufman. To even start her nonprofit, Lana got her introduction to the Watts family through Kim Kaufman. And so they started this, they were in Facebook together. Kim Kaufman had established this relationship with the Watts. Then Kim Kaufman came to YouTube. She started a channel called Revelation in the Reckoning. Kim Kaufman knows, even if she hears this, that I didn't very much like what she was, the way she was covering the case on her channel. She was also, kind of taking up for Chris Watts on her channel. So, I wasn't a huge fan of her channel, but her way of covering the case was not exploitative, or at least she didn't take it to the extent that Lana does. But she was very successful almost overnight. She had 10,000 subscribers, and she had many members, and she had many people in chat every single live, and it was very active and popping. And I think Lana was incredibly, that's right. They do say that's what JP has said, that he has interviewed the Watts, and they say that Oriani is a con artist. So anyway, Kim came and started Revelation in the Reckoning. Her channel was very successful. I believe, and then there was, and that was right around the time, or right after, her and Lana had this sizable, very dramatic and chaotic breakup. And Lana was salty about it. She was pissed off, and she actually went to the Watts after her and Kim broke up, and like got the Watts involved in her, trying to get Kim to do to send her phones. I mean, she involved the Watts in her drama with Kim. So it was really extremely toxic. But point being that Lana was fixated on Kim Kaufman. Lana was jealous, in my opinion, of how successful Kim Kaufman's channel was being able to have access to the Watts. And she was kind of going around on YouTube pretending that she didn't have a strong connection or history with Kim Kaufman, but it ended up, hey Shift, it ended up being proven in hindsight to be totally false. So let's play this and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Posted on March 1st, 2021, discussing her success, along with other unrelated and irrelevant topics. However, it was what Lana stated in this Facebook post, as well as in her first pitch to the YouTube public on or about February 28th, 2021. Advertising and campaigning for people to sign up and become financial donors to her nonprofit website was the exact moment that I instantly knew that this nonprofit business was an absolute scam and fraud happening right before my eyes. And too many people who claimed to be a part of the true crime community didn't seem to hear or see what I was very clearly seeing and hearing. So I saw something, and I'm saying something, and I come with receipts. Hello, gang unit. Glad the gang is all here. I want to make sure I am being heard loud and clear, and that I'm loving on you all to the point that you all know how important you have been in this journey and will continue to be.
The love bombing. The love bombing.
There are zero secrets moving forward, or this hush-hush approach, like everything needs to be some secret. For once, the Watts are going to own the narrative as they should because they just want the truth, and this is their life and their son's case. The truth means the truth, even if that means their son did everything. They loved Bella and Cece more than anything, and it is in their name and honor that they want the truth and deserve the truth. Your kind words have been so appreciated as it pertains to me, like beyond infinity and beyond. Again, thank you, all of you. I do believe you know how much I have put into this cause, and because of that, I'm being as transparent as I can be. I believed in myself before the Denver deep dive. But now, because of going to Denver, I now know that I have a talent to investigate cases and find the truth, and that I am considered a huge asshole. Sorry, haha, I mean.
I love these little edits that Godspilla does, that I'm considered a huge asshole. I love Godspilla's diatribes. I don't agree with every single one of Godspilla's takes on things. I don't agree with every single thing she says, but I really have mad respect for her editing, for her research, for some of the receipts that she is able to drop that I don't have, and for her for her descriptive diatribes.
Asset to firms who specialize in post-conviction litigation and cold cases. Every lawyer I met with expressed this, but I believe more importantly than my investigation talent, I have a background in knowing how important it is to be organized, to conduct yourself in a professional manner, and to be proactive when doing what you set out to do.
One of the things I found so funny about this at the time, back, because she wasn't just saying professional on this Facebook post. She was saying that on YouTube too. Professional. I'm going to be professional. And I mean, I don't think I've seen anyone further from professional.
Regardless of what the thing is that you're doing. I know that if you want professional results, you need to be professional. So therefore, it was imperative to devote much time to the professional approach / side of things with this journey the past 3 to 4 weeks. If, in fact, I was planning on landing one of the best lawyers / law firms in Denver, Colorado. So here it is. I am challenging my ex-girlfriend, Utah, and Benji to come clean and list the lawyers that I...
So in this video, Godspilla is calling Kim Kaufman Utah. Okay. And what you see here is that she's, patting herself on the back for being able to meet with lawyers and get them to maybe think about taking on the case. I mean, as if that's some major accomplishment. Okay. Then at the end of this post, she just goes on this, screed about Utah, aka Kim Kaufman.
I met with in Denver. If in fact you set up all the meetings, and if in fact this was all your idea and tireless efforts for all these years while you were figuring out something, launch a YouTube channel and kept stalling in the process of moving forward, telling the family what to do, who to talk to, and so on and so forth. First of all, that just screams crazy when you think about a woke woman. I have no idea what Lana tried to type here. Telling grown adults who have been through one of the most traumatic experiences imaginable what to do? Who gives someone that right? But it hasn't just been my ex-girlfriend, Utah. It has been all of those before her. You have had 2.5 years to get your shit together and help this family instead of sitting behind a damn computer screen and judge or tell lies or whatever else you have done. Say what you want about me, but I know I can sleep at night knowing I've unselfishly helped a family do what none of you have been able to come close to doing.
And when you hear all this and looking back, and when she's just talking about, oh, look how much I've helped this family. I've been such an amazing, altruistic, philanthropic helper to this family. I've gotten nothing out of it. I've been so selfless, and I've unselfishly helped a family do none of you could been able to come close to doing. I'm sure none of you, hello Melissa, I'm sure none of you have ever come close to hiring a freaking attorney, right? Okay. So she's saying all these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things about herself. And then there was a point I was going to make, but I distracted myself. This happens sometimes to me, you guys. I'm sorry. You live with it.
Never made fun of Bella and Cece, and I know this as well as everyone who knows me. The Thrive lifestyle is why we are here, and everything had to do with Thrive and what a show their lives became because of Thrive. If you can't take...
So now she's justifying Shazam, because she said that Shazam was all about lampooning the Thrive lifestyle. And the other thing she's doing here is she's dropping a major Easter egg, because her and Kim had this thing where they talked about how they were going to be thriving. Hey, we're thriving. So this was all about Thrive and the Thrive lifestyle. Give me a break. Give me a break.
The truth, get yo assets out of the kitchen. My approach with this family was completely different, and you will hear about that in due time. Before we went to Denver and I saw where this was...
I know what I was saying before. To listen to all this, licking of her own ass that she's doing, right? And to now understand that the Watts believe that she's a con, that the nonprofit has been canceled, that I have documented here how many other families she has harmed through either her coverage or through her nonprofit. That's why sometimes I like to do retrospectives, because in abusive relationships, and make no mistake, her relationship with people on the internet is abusive. And when you've been abused and thrown around and mind fucked, it takes a while to unravel it all and to look back and to see these things. And that's why some of these things don't really come into focus or come into clear view for a few years later. And you don't really start putting things together. So that's one of the reasons that this became clear to me as I watched this video. And I'll continue here.
Was headed with Benji. I personally took it upon myself to reach out to her and advised her to strongly consider her words, actions, and path moving forward. This came before them getting blocked by the family due to harassing text messages and phone calls. Truth be told, Utah and I had zero beef going into this year of reconnecting. Is that what she called stalking back then? Sorry, continuing on. I always thought Utah and I were on the same side of this coin, but it wasn't until I realized that there was a huge question mark surrounding truth, transparency, and togetherness. Yeah, well, Lana didn't exactly remedy that question mark or provide any of those 3 T words listed above either, and that's a damn fact. All of this was before Christopher, on his own, decided to cut off Utah from his Zoom capabilities. Benji was never on Christopher's list for anything. She was just someone he wrote with back in the day, and someone who couldn't obtain a spot on his visitation list due to her not being able to pass a background check. Felons can't visit prisoners. Funny, I don't recall ever seeing Lana's name on that Zoom call list either. So what's Lana's excuse? Christopher, over the past few months, repeatedly told Utah to stop with the YouTube channel. She ignored his request, and it was due to that, why he ended their Zooms. Christopher stated to me personally that he wanted...
Now, do you realize we're supposed to be hearing all this great stuff about her amazing nonprofit, and she's now dishing all this dirt about Kim and the family while talking about being professional. This is anti-professional. I just want to let you guys know. It's not professional to write a social media post promoting your nonprofit and then dishing dirt and speaking gossip and triangulating against your former partners and collaborators. That is not a professional thing to do.
Social media / YouTube to stop because of the negative impact it had on his loved ones. After Christopher expressed thoughts and concerns, I expressed that it was understandable why he had those feelings. And I just ignored him too. I chose to not tell Christopher that not only did I create my own YouTube channel, but I also didn't disclose to Chris that I had been making fun of him and his family on Facebook for the past year. I also did not disclose to Chris just how recently I came up with this grand idea of running a sham nonprofit website using Chris's family name for immediate recognition, so that I could hide my income from all those pesky creditors that had been relentlessly hounding me all damn day for money I owed. I mean, I owed a lot of money on unpaid loans, but I also owed money for back taxes too, which helps to pay for medical care and living expenses for retired senior citizens, people with disabilities, and the underprivileged, as well as for other government services that are paid for by the taxpayers' money, such as law enforcement, firefighters, criminal defense attorneys, pro se litigants, and more. Basically, I owe back taxes on a lot of things that I myself need financial assistance for, since I'm desperately indigent. But whatever, minor details. And I also didn't feel that it was necessary to pay for the professional attorneys that I hired.
So just so you know, what all this stuff that you're hearing being said right now is satire. These are things that Godspilla wrote into the script herself, as if she's Lana. It's funny. But the Facebook post, this post was written in a Facebook group in 2021. But Godspilla is riffing off of it right now.
Hired either? Well, because I just simply didn't want to pay them. I mean, it was actually my dad's money, but never mind that. I explained to Chris that this website on social media was going to be just amazing for him, and he fell for it? Just kidding. Lana didn't write all of that truthfulness. Come on now. Sorry, I can't help myself sometimes. This is what Lana actually wrote. I expressed that it was understandable why he has those feelings. I also explained to Chris that social media and YouTube are not going to stop no matter what he says or anybody does. But I then explained that he has a legit chance at a 35C and reminded him that not everyone out there is ruthless manipulators.
Did you hear that? Let's hear that again. What she wrote that she told Chris back in that day. What did she tell Chris?
Media and YouTube are not going to stop no matter what he says or anybody does. But I then explained that he has a legit chance at a 35C.
He did not have a legit chance at a 35C. He did not. She gave him hope. She gave the Watts hope. This is the same exact bullshit con artist game she played with all of the families that she recruited for her fraudulent nonprofit, which has been canceled. Okay. But that she told him he has a legit chance for a 35C. And, you know, in her mind, we know this now, in her mind, the reason he had a legit chance for a 35C is because she believes she can prove that Nicole Atkinson was in the house during the time of the murders. And she's basing this on 360 life 360 data. Life 360 data, okay? And I've said over and over, and other people have said over and over, no, you're not going to get a 35C post-conviction relief application rewarded based on Life 360 data. No. A 35C is an application for a post-conviction hearing, like after you've been convicted, you can have the case brought before judges again to be reviewed for on a variety of grounds, like you found new evidence, or there was ineffective assistance of counsel and things like that. She was basically trying to get his sentences appealed. He pleaded guilty, and he's serving several life sentences. He murdered his children and his pregnant wife, and he put them in oil batteries. And she's telling him, and he confessed to this, and he pleaded to it, and he pleaded guilty. But he told his parents refused to believe that he could kill his granddaughters. So they were trying to get the convictions for Bella and Cece thrown out. They're trying to get it somehow that there were other people involved, and therefore he wasn't the one who killed the children. It was either Shanann or somebody else that was there. And all of this was, happening at the time of COVID, when everybody was online, and it was at the height of when this case was taking off on YouTube. It hadn't just happened. It had happened like a year and a half before, but Netflix came out with a series, a documentary, or it was I guess you could call it a documentary, but they came out with a movie, and that brought in a whole new set of viewers onto YouTube. So pretty sure the appeal would have been dismissed the second judge heard his private investigator talk about wanting to go to the prison to engage in mammary intercourse with him. Yeah. Yeah. So plot twist, she is Godspilla. That would be funny. That would actually be, that's a very much an insult to Godspilla, but it would be funny. There's no way Lana could put together the reasoning that Godspilla does in the channel. I don't think I could learn even more about the Watts case currently, but V never ceases to manage to blow my mind with something else. So anyway, that's the background behind that. But what I'm trying to say here is, this professional person has written this Facebook post that starts out patting herself on the back for doing this great nonprofit, and now she's basically turning it into a smear post against her ex-girlfriend. Do we see a pattern here? That's right, Godspilla. Do we see a pattern? Where do you see the fixation here? Is there a fixation going on here?
And reminded him that not everyone out there is ruthless manipulators or against him and the truth. He and his family have a chance to let professionals finally take his case, and to let them do their job, and to let the people out there that want to fight for truth and justice help the cause. He saw where I was coming from, and for the first time in over 6 months to a year, his public defender, John Walsh, finally wrote him back, due to a stern letter that I'd sent them, which you will all see one day. Oh, for fuck's sake, seriously. Spoiler alert, that letter was about as riveting, inspiring, and as professional as this gem of a post was. Jesus. Okay, sorry, moving on. Again, he completely agreed that he wants to finally have a lawyer that he can talk with and work with to obtain the truth. Something that has never happened. I'm sorry, but was she not following the same case as the rest of us? Chris had a good defense team, free of charge, who did a lot to try to fight for him. Chris actually did talk with his defense team, and he chose to only tell them the truth at that time. That's clear as day once you see those recorded video calls between Chris Watts and his family after he took the plea deal. Christopher did exercise his civil rights, and he chose to plead guilty to spare himself from having to see and hear what the public's perception of him would be after they learned every little detail of his horrifying and demoralizing actions that heinous day. In my opinion, Lana took advantage of a vulnerable family who didn't want to or wasn't ready to accept a really horrible reality. In fact, I feel that Lana completely ignored Chris Watts' civil rights since she was helping for himself. Seen 1 penny from Utah's channel, like she promised for a defense team. And again, I'm here stating the facts, and if I'm so wrong and crazy, then please prove me wrong. I'm very late to this, but I'm up for the challenge. Raising money for attorneys for Chris Watts, bring attention, trying to help sway the public's perception of the case. But I do not recall her ever stating that the money donated to her YouTube channel was meant for the Watts family, or was not going to be the reach around of that law. I could be wrong now. This YouTube channel. Until then, all I see here is a jaded ex-girlfriend who appears pretty salty about how much money Utah made on her YouTube channel. But that's just my personal perception. Moving on. I'm waiting for her or any one of you to prove me wrong and show a check or Zelle payment, or anything that can prove she was doing this to help the family. Speaking of Zelle payments, I'm just going to insert this little clip of the creator that went to Denver with Lana, giving her account of what she saw happen in real time. And before Lana had a business set up yet, nor had a business bank account set up yet for her nonprofit organization, Fight for a Family.
2 receipts are from her J-Bug dog, her PR guy that she told Ronnie Watts she got him the best PR and marketing guy in Ohio. Now, so it's 2 receipts made out to Lana, not made out to any business, made out to her. I know for a fact that Cindy and Ronnie Watts wired her the money for the $2,000 one, and they wired J-Bug the $200 and whatever dollars via Zelle from their bank account.
Again, what I think we have here is Lana struggles with comprehension as far as what was meant by helping the family. And trust me, it's not easy to stick up for the purpose of Utah's YouTube channel during that time. But there's a truth out there, and I'm betting that Lana's version, isn't it? Utah cried on a live stream tonight, which forced my hand today. For starters, crying.
So what I'm pointing out here by showing this particular Facebook post in Godspilla's video is how focused on Kim Lana is in this Facebook post. How fixated she is. That's the person she's going after in the moment of time. The way that she tends to go after people, you know, where she gets fixated, she gets animus in her brain about people, and whenever anything reminds her of that person, she has to throw out dirt about them or dish on them or say something disgusting about them. And but sometimes she's so focused on them that she creates a post that is, you know, under the pretenses of it being about one thing, but it's really about a whole other thing. So this is a context setter for the next clip I'll show you, which really, really convinced me that Lana is Rocketman. So we're getting to it.
Lying is embarrassing, and I know why you did it. To try and save your channel and your only income in how many years? So again, it is simple. Utah and Benji, show me and the world how exactly, with facts and proof on how you were exactly wronged, you have been by the Watts. P.S. Utah, this isn't about you. It never should have been about you, but you have made it clear to everyone with a brain. This has been all about you since you launched that YouTube channel. And this is coming from someone with zero beef with you. In fact, someone who took care of you and your family, AKA your boy, when you were going through a divorce and through cancer treatments. I mean, I paid for the following for you and him, and I can prove it all. 1, rent payments. 2, cancer treatments. 3, 2 cell phones. 4.
This is anti-professional. This is not only anti-professional, it is incredibly low class. What she's doing is she's saying all those things that I did for you when I loved you and we were in a relationship. Fuck you. I'm going to throw them in your face here now. I'm going to throw them in your face here now to show everybody how great I am and how desperate and what a piece of trash you are. And she didn't just do this on this Facebook post. She said it many, many, many times on her channel.
4, 2 cell phone bills. 5, food. 6, gas. 7, Christmas gifts in 2018. So your son didn't go without. 8, I mean, should I continue? I have gathered all of the receipts from all of the ways that I sent you money in the past, and I did it all based on the lies that you started everything off of. I met you through this case, and my right-hand employee flat out told you in December of 2018 that you didn't have a chance with me as I was. Never. Leaving my wifey, and when you found that out, you decided to prey on another.
In this very professional Facebook post, she's now accusing Kim of having an affair using her cell phones.
Woman, Utah's future wife, amazing. And it is sad, but it is true, that you were able to successfully wreck Amazing's home and within record time. You were divorced in March of 2019, and she was moved in by February of 2019, and then married by June or August of 2020. I mean, just wowzers. I try and stay out of personal stuff, but this one is on you, and the fact that you preyed on this family, and on a home that consisted of a family with a wife and a wife who brought you into their lives as a friend, and then you used my cell phone and cell phone plan to facilitate a flat-out affair. Ugh, just gross. These two women had a family with 2 adorable daughters. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to jump in here real quick, just to remind you all that the start of this post was Lana announcing that the Watts finally had a professional working for them. Hopefully you can see and hear how this clown and her whole ass circus fumbled everything from the jump due to Lana's real motives and intentions for reaching out to the Watts family in the first place. It wasn't because she was involved with the Watts since August of 2018. In fact, Lana was bitter that Utah gave so much time and attention to the Watts over her. See? This entire bit about Benji, Utah, and Amazing doesn't belong in this professional announcement whatsoever, but Lana just can't help herself and always ends up giving herself away when she lashes out like this. It was Lana who was actually the one who was still married at the time. And when she met Utah, sending Utah all that money before Lana's ex filed for divorce, and or before their divorce was finalized. I have the receipts to prove that it was Lana who was a smitten kitten for Utah, and she was literally begging Utah to not break up with her, but that's for another chapter. My point is, Lana is just slinging all of this shit about Utah and Amazing's personal lives, just to make Utah feel small, or at the very least, embarrassed for having all of this personal information about these private citizens' lives onto Facebook and YouTube. I mean, can you fucking imagine dating someone long distance and for only 6 months, only to find out that they've been stalking you for years and putting out all your business onto YouTube? It's insane shit. Lana openly admitted that she started to quote unquote investigate Utah beginning in March of 2019, just 1 month after they broke up. Lana reached out to Utah's ex-wife and Amazing's ex-wife as well by going through the phone bill records of the phone that Lana gave.
Listen to this part here, because what Godspilla is saying is true. Lana did what she does after a breakup. She reaches out to the exes. She gets literally involved with Kim's ex, Kim's ex and Kim's exes. She's and then as a result of getting that involved, she was mentioned in the custody paperwork of their divorce, of a whole different divorce, as a stalker. Okay?
Gifted to Utah. You see, Lana denied for years that she even knew Utah or that she was in love with Utah while she was very much still married herself. Lana is a bitter, scorned woman, a lot similar to the character in the movie Fatal Attraction, in my opinion. And Lana's pathetic demonstration of her jealousy and uncontrollable rage here is just so embarrassingly obvious when she added in all of this additional non-relevant information in this post, and that wasn't anybody's fucking business to know about either. I never heard Utah speak on Lana's son, or Lana for that matter, up to this point, except for when Utah announced that she would not be going to Denver with Ronnie Watts and Lana. I mean, damn, it's pretty obvious why after looking back on all of this. Also, take note of how easy it is for Lana to speak on Utah and Amazing's kids and family matters, as if it's any of her business to put out there. Lana is a public figure, and since Lana has talked about this so publicly from day one, well then, all of this has become part of this public figure story and now open for public criticism. Who gives thousands of dollars to a long-distance girlfriend of only 3 months after meeting Utah? Virtually? Lana also claimed that she never even saw Utah's face during the entire 6-month-long steamy affair that she had with her, all while simultaneously denying that they ever dated. Lana's only purpose for reaching out to the Watts family was to get her cell phones back from Utah, despite them being a gift. If Lana was so hurt about this breakup and loss of the phones and money that was gifted to Utah, well, all Lana had to do was stop payment on the phones and file a small claim suit against Utah back then, if she had any justifiable claim to make.
I'm stopping the video here because someone had asked if KK and Lana ever went to court, because in the video here, Godspilla mentions, why didn't Lana take her to court back then? Lana did file a small claims suit against KK, against Kim Kaufman, and to my knowledge, it was dismissed. She also tried to file civil. She was one of the something like 14, 15, 16 people she tried to file, or one of the 14, 15, 16 civil protection orders she tried to file and were dismissed. I don't think she was able to get it served or something, but yes, she tried to take Kim Kaufman to court.
But no, instead, Lana waited until 2023 to file that claim. And after Utah was pointing out all of the ways that Lana was lying and exploiting that family's trauma. Also, somehow while Lana was allegedly sending Utah $6,000 to $8,000, Lana was simultaneously claiming to her ex-wife and her divorce attorneys that she was broke and that she was entitled to half of everything, since Lana claimed that it was her wife who was having the affair. Look, maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. And frankly, it's none of my business, but I just couldn't not correct the record here and provide the actual facts of what all was really going on at the time. Lana was engaging in activities that I personally would consider to be an affair, especially if I was the ex, and later learned where thousands of dollars from our mutual bank account actually went to. Not only was Lana stalking Utah since March of 2019, but she followed her onto this platform and pretended to not have any beef with Utah, while she clearly did, since she has admitted to investigating Utah right after they broke up. Lana was also inserting herself into the custody matters between Utah and Amazing's ex-wives as well. It's the most deranged shit, and damn near the likes of what an episode of Snapped would be. Again, this is all for a whole other chapter, but I needed to give more context here of what was actually going on at this point in time, and before I continued on reading out this professional scorned woman's post. Okay, moving on. Utah and Benji, you both belong together, living in lies, delusions, and preying through manipulation with your fraudulent behavior and tendencies, which comes too easily for the both of you. Listen up. If either of you say another word about the Watts family or myself, I'm filing harassment, as well as slander claims against you both, as you are defaming my name/character. And my eyewitnesses who will testify are Jamie, Cindy, and Ronnie.
She's already starting with the legal threats. And her witnesses on her side will be Jamie, Ronnie, and Cindy. Imagine that. Ronnie and Cindy, who have now called her a con, are going to be her witnesses against Kim Kaufman. My God.
We have all the phone calls and text messages, Utah and Benji, as far as all of the YouTubers asking me to go on your YouTube channels and panels. Thank you for the consideration. But at this time, I do not have anything to debate or speak about on your channel. There is truly nothing to debate. I succeeded in what I set out to do for a family, and I will tap my own back because it is something that all of you had a chance to do, but instead put more effort into bashing random people, creators, or the process of the law. I do wish you all the best of luck because everyone has the capacity to change over time and decide to be decent human beings and do right by ethics, morals, and in the name of truth and justice.
She has all the words, right? Ethics, morals, in the name of truth and justice. And I've done all the right things, but the actions don't match, obviously.
I feel like I need to salute to this vigorous display of hypocrisy.
So that's the Facebook post, and you see how much of that Facebook post she dedicated to absolutely slamming her ex-girlfriend, right? She's clearly fixated on this one person. So I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to show you now. I want to make sure I'm getting this right. Yeah. So here is the point where in the video where I was watching it and I saw this and I went, oh, wow. After hearing that Facebook post in all its glory, the way I didn't remember all of it. Who can remember all of that, right? It's okay. That's fine. All right. If you want all your you want all of your viewers to know this about you? That's on you, girl. That's on you. All right. So here we have the infamous sex scandal panel. All right. And this is the point where Rocketman comes into the chat. And I'm going to play it for you now, and I'll play for you the part that has me convinced. So let's go.
The effect about a video being published, which is exactly what was being threatened to both UFO and February, by the way.
Yes, remember, people were coming forward and saying, I'm feeling threatened and blackmailed by Lana with my explicit images and videos. Okay?
And then boom, it happened.
I shot off a video. It won't be long.
So what you're looking at right now is the actual sex. You're looking at, in the middle of the screen is the sex panel, but this is Lana restreaming this, like triple restreaming. She has restreamed this sex panel on her channel gazillions of times. I don't know how many times. Even on the screen there on top, it says on Godspilla's video, one of the many times Lana reviewed this live stream and made money off of it, right? Yes. So this is Lana looking at the sex panel. She's fixated on it. She's ruminating over it. She's trying to figure things out. She's trying to throw the blame off onto other people. She's trying to smear all the other people on the panel. Godspilla has put cute little icons over all the different people on the panel, okay? And she has revoiced some of the voices. So if you get confused, let me know, but I can, it'll stop being confusing. Hold on.
Saw yours is coming soon. Does anyone else see that? I shot off a video. It
I'm
won't.
going to slow it down a little bit. I'm going to slow it down a little bit because you really need to hear this one part.
And then boom.
Video. It won't be long. Utah, yours is coming soon. The video.
Okay, so what's happening is Rocketman comes into the chat and Melissa Jade reads what Rocketman says in the chat. Okay? Listen to what Melissa reads Rocketman saying in the chat. And there's captions on the screen at the bottom.
I shot off a video. It won't be long. Utah, yours is coming soon.
I shot off a video. It won't be long. Utah, yours is coming soon. Utah, which is Kim Kaufman, yours is coming soon. Now it said in the chat, it said Kim. All right.
Video. It won't be long. Utah, yours is coming soon. Does anyone else see that?
Utah, Kim, yours is coming soon. So tell me this, okay? Who else besides Lana would have the motive to not only post revenge porn of Ludovica, who she had just posted, but also of Kim Kaufman? Also, who would also have access to revenge porn from both Ludovica and Kim Kaufman? Who is the only person that we're looking at who has not only threatened to put out revenge porn, but we now know has openly admitted to sharing people's revenge porn? right? When we talk about criminal cases, we talk about whether the criminal has motive, means, or opportunity. And motive, means, and opportunity. And motive is, I think, on the top of that list for a reason. Who else would have had a motive to not only revenge porn Ludovica, but also to revenge porn Kim Kaufman, who she had just spent the last year or two fixating over and slandering and smearing and trying to make sure everybody knows is a terrible person. And oh, by the way, Kim Kaufman is on this panel that we're talking about right now. Kim Kaufman is on that panel. Now, there's and this, yes, that's true, Godspilla. This was also Kim Kaufman's first time speaking publicly about Lana and her feeling threatened by Lana and her relationship with Lana. She didn't talk about it being an intimate relationship. She just talked about it being being acquainted with her at the time and being stalked and threatened and all that type of stuff. But she never intimated that there was anything sexual between them. That didn't come till much later. Now we know there was a sexual relationship between them. It was virtual, but it was sexual. And so Lana clearly has intimate images of Kim Kaufman. She had the means. And you know what? She also had the opportunity with her YouTube. Okay? So backing up a little bit, the video that was put on Rocketman's channel was porn from Ludovica Bibiani, who is a sex worker and regularly sent porn to, Lana, and her porn was accessible in other ways. But as far as I understand, if I remember, that particular piece of content was only sent to certain people, and Lana was one of them. Okay. So it's possible that several people could have had access to Ludovica's content. And so they had the means and they had the opportunity to do it, right? But I don't see anybody else more than Lana having the motive. And also a motive to come into a chat where Kim Kaufman is and where Ludovica is hanging out into the chat and saying this.
I shot off a video. It won't be long. Utah, yours is coming soon. Does anyone else see that?
And then Melissa says, does anyone else see that? Right? So now I'm going to keep playing it a little bit because there is another Kim in the mix. It's Kim from Kim and Crafton. And I'm going to play this part for you because what the message from Rocketman actually said was, Kim, you are next. Okay. So, I'm going to play that part for you, and then I'm going to explain to you why I don't think it was Kim from Kim and Crafton. And I'm going to make it more, I'm going to put it to regular speed.
That.
Yeah. Which Kim? Rocketman. If you're going to troll, you got to let us know who you're trolling.
Right. I'm assuming that's Lana.
Troll, you got to let
I'll see that.
Yeah. Which Kim? Rocketman.
So Kim from Kim and Crafton says, which Kim, Rocketman? And because there were actually 3 Kims on panel. There were 3 Kims, but there was YT Kimberly, Natasha's friend. There was Kim from Kim and Crafton, and there was Kim Kaufman. There were a lot of Kims. Yeah, there were a lot of Kims in the community at that point, or at least in that channel at that point. Okay, so Kim from Kim and Crafton says, which Kim? Now, the only Kim on that panel that Lana has been fixated on for the last couple of years, who just wrote an entire screed about on Facebook when she's supposed to be writing a beautiful post about fight for a family. The only person who has made countless lives about Kim Kaufman, calling her everything in the book. She's gone after Kim Kaufman as much as she's gone after anybody I've seen. Okay. But a lot of people wouldn't recognize that because they don't know Kim Kaufman as well. And Kim isn't on YouTube anymore, and Kim doesn't respond back. So a lot of people don't see it. But the only reason for Rocketman to come into a chat and say, I just shot off a video, should be here. Let's watch it again, so we're all clear.
And then boom, it happened.
I shot off a video. It won't be long. Utah, yours is coming soon. Does anyone else see that?
Yeah. Which Kim? Rocketman. If you're gonna.
And I'm just gonna play for a little bit longer now, so you can hear everybody, start to kind of share the video and freak out a little bit. Hold on.
Troll. You gotta let us know who you're trolling.
Right. I'm assuming that's Lana.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me though.
Yeah.
We're trolling the camera.
Why are you in here with somebody else? Come in your damn self. Your ass ain't blocked. I don't know why you keep lying.
What is that?
Here it is.
I don't know if I want to ask.
I can't see chat, so here it is. This is the moment right here.
How
What is
excited
it?
she is?
On her channel? No. Oh, wow. Yeah, we got it.
See, this proves everything. It proves everything. Every single thing I said, or anyone else said. If we come forward, if we say anything, your sexual shit and stuff will be posted. So thank you, Lana, for proving our point, because that's all you did. Shame on you.
Well, and I'm going to say this. I can't see. What did she do?
I would have text messages. I would have text messages to say this.
Yeah, I don't think we should.
Don't show
We
it.
should dignify with even saying.
No.
Or do that to the person. Fuck that.
This is the thing, though. If she's posting anything that's any type of what's in the boundaries of like revenge porn or anything sexual,
Girl, he is porn.
It's straight up porn. You have one of the subs.
The threat against February happened just like that.
If you're still restreaming me, Lana, that was straight up porn of one of your subs, and I'm saying it was you. That was you. You did that. And the reason you're fixating on trying to get somebody else blamed for it is because you know it was you. You know it was you. There's a couple other clips I want to talk you through. And I do want to give you a trigger warning because these clips prove even more. Okay. Now, what I've just told you is that Lana has had the motive, the means, and the opportunity to be Rocketman. Okay. Now, we also know that she has the character to be Rocketman because she and that's one of the things that I think Godspilla really brilliantly lays out in this video. It is 3 hours and it's long, so I can't show the entire video. And honestly, I think you should all go to her channel and watch it later. But point being that what Godspilla shows in her video is that Lana openly admits doing things, criminal things, all the time. And then in the next breath, will change the story about it. In the next sentence, in the next breath, on the next day. She is a pathological, documented liar. And that's what I do on my channel, and what lots of other channels do, is document these lies, because the internet is permanent, but the audience on the internet is transient. And these new audiences come in and have no idea what they're dealing with. And if they get directly connected to her, they have no idea how they're going to get chewed up and spit out if they do. Okay. So, and this part of the video that I'm going to show you puts a lot of that on display. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Anonymous Lucy. Yes. So this is when Crafton, after, Crafton is one of those people, Crafton Kim, one of those people who for years were exposing Lana. He's the one that introduced us to the idea that there's this thing called Shazam, this gross, disgusting entity called Shazam, alter ego of Lana's, but it really is Lana. He's the one that introduced us to that idea, to Shazam. And then she somehow got some, in my opinion, compromising information about him. And all of a sudden he became her friend and her witness in Lana's case against Aunt Lala. Okay. And in the midst of that, after they became friends, after being bitter enemies with each other, he was on her channel, and he was asking her about, the time that she showed nudity. She showed Ludovica's vagina on her channel. And this is how it played out. Oops.
Then UFO started to take the brunt of Lana's rage.
Oh, wait. I think I'm trying to make sure.
February.
Anything that's any type of.
Then UFO started to take the brunt of Lana's rage.
I think I picked up the wrong clip there. Hold on one moment. I think, is this it? Hold on. Sorry, one moment.
On that one real quick.
It says what? Okay, I pixelated the extra shot. I have this unredacted. I don't know the actual video it's from, but I'm sure it's been deleted. I don't even know what.
So there was a video where you were holding paper and it showed a hoo-hoo on it, and
with a play button over it.
And okay, so that was.
And I loved how. So do you hear how Crafton just goes? So literally, what Lana is showing right there on her channel is a legs spread wide open, not pixelated over, not redacted. And Lana is showing that, and they're talking about this, and Crafton's like, well, yeah, okay. I mean, just wait, listen to how he just kind of throws it off. This is how you normalize this kind of behavior. This is how this kind of behavior continues to go on unchecked, is when you talk about somebody putting a hoo-ha on a channel, and it's just like, well, okay.
And
Oh, with a play button over it.
Okay, so that's the thing that gets continually thrown out there, that you showed somebody's
Yeah, that's what they illegally got. I got that Lynn went and used and admitted that she used a friend at Google that was nudity. I said, that's not fucking nudity. I'm showing a screenshot because
if it wasn't nudity, YouTube wouldn't have removed it. My God.
was a video and there's a play button and and something else. There's no nudity. It's a play button over that was because what I was showing was the timestamp and then it was unsolicited. I'm like, this girl was just.
She's also mixing up, and that's one thing that Godspilla points out in this video, is she's even mixing up which nude shot she was showing. Which shot she was showing which shot that Crafton was even asking her about. Many people saw it with their own eyes. Many people in this chat saw it with their own eyes.
This is crazy. This is crazy. And
so she was trying to say that you can see that this was an unsolicited photo sent to me because the play button's over it, but that wasn't even the photo he was asking her about. He was asking about the one that she just blatantly showed on her channel. And so she's conflating these. That's right. She does it every time. She combines both into the same event, right? And play this a little bit longer.
That's what that is.
That's what that is. And then she's like, oh, I saw that. And I'm like, well, that's the reason I'm drawing attention to that is, out of all this time since that panel, that is the only thing that I have ever actually
exactly, Chad,
that was supposedly evidence that you were running around distributing people's.
So he's trying to say that's the only evidence that she's going around distributing other people's, blah blah. Hello, Andy Candy. No, there's in Godspilla's video, she shows several other instances. In my 2 live streams I did back to back, in my For the Record live streams, I showed 3 or 4 different examples of when I've been able to document her showing nudity on her channel. And also I showed where she was asked the question under oath in court and denies it, and not only denies it, but slaps the table and acts like the person who's asking is just ridiculous and crazy and a lunatic. Godspilla counted 10 times. Okay. I mean, I'm going to definitely believe you over Lana. Lana lies like she gets paid for it. Oh, wait, she does. All right. So now the last couple things I'm going to show you, the last bit of what I'm going to show you is very triggering. It's extremely triggering. Especially for the people who were involved. It is the threat that was recorded between Ludovica and Lana. Okay. This is a recorded phone call between Ludovica and Lana that Melissa Jade had heard before the sex panel. Okay. It is absolutely vile and disgusting. It's wrong. None of this should have ever been said. And it's 1,000 times a threat. It is 1,000% a threat. And it also goes to show you the frame of mind of somebody who would do something like Rocketman. Ask yourself as you're listening to this, is this person, yes or no, is this person capable of doing Rocketman, of being Rocketman? Is this the kind of person speaking who would start a new channel, put porn on it, and launch it in the middle of a live stream about herself? Would she do that? Ask yourself as you're listening to this.
Spread you apart. You are gaping on the fucking floor for me. Do you want me? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I want to read this shit out, and I want you to act it out like you're like. I want you to read, and we're gonna read it verbatim. Reason why is because we're talking for 48 minutes, and I'm sending it to my mods to show them it's going down. I'm in a, and guess what? If we want to make money, the only way that we can make money, babe, I have to go live from my normal channel. Because then no, it is, but this has nothing to do with true crime. Yeah, so I'm not putting this on my fucking true crime channel. Yeah, and so then guess what? I'm gonna make another channel, and I'm able to go live if I'm in front of a computer. I can go live.
To be clear, what she's describing is going live on a channel to reenact the sexual messages between her and Melissa Jade for money. So what literally she is planning is verbal revenge porn, acted out revenge porn. And the idea of making money is a extremely high priority in that conversation. So would you put it past someone who would have this conversation to not want to fire up an account called Rocketman, put it into Natasha's chat, and then watch everybody scramble?
Okay, so I'm gonna go live from my computer and do this, and you're gonna be like in my presence playing fucking music and smoking blunts. We about to make some motherfucking sick ass money. You know what? I may actually let it be on my regular channel. Only like, baby, you want to make some money off of this shit? We will make $1,000. We'll make $1,000. You want some money? I got you, boo. I'm coming. But we're gonna go ahead and play this out. You want to talk about somebody being a victim? Okay, she's a victim of one that pussy pounded. Okay.
I honestly don't know what more I can say at this point.
Unbelievable. That is absolutely disgusting, unbelievable. And of course, so imagine this, right? So she thinks that she has her friend Ludovica all wrapped up and convinced to make a channel or not make a channel, whatever it is, and then reenact the sexual messages between her and Melissa Jade, right? In Lana's mind, she thinks that she's got Ludovica all signed up to do this. But then she doesn't know that Ludovica has recorded these messages, and has now shared them with Natasha and Melissa Jade. And Melissa Jade and Natasha has now heard these things. And that has inspired this, partially has inspired this sex panel. So when she sees that this sex panel is happening and that Melissa Jade is going on panel and she's lost control of the narrative, and she already had this idea of, putting Melissa Jade on blast. Now she's pissed at who? Ludovica, because she knows that now Ludovica has turned on her, right? So she takes that porn that she has of Ludovica's, she puts it on that Rocketman channel, and she blasts it off, because that's the only way that she can have an effect on this group of people that are now calling her out for the disgusting fucking hog of a pig she is with women and with human beings. And that's just the truth. Now, there's one last thing that she says in this video at the very end that you need to hear, because if you have any sort of private communication with Lana, whether it's just a hello, hi, how are you? You're just sharing information, whether it's that, or you are in the heavy DMs with her and you're sharing nudes, you need to know that this is Lana's attitude about that. Hold on a moment.
Even though there's informationalist action that was unfairly to read and issue, engage with, view boundaries up.
Oh, I guess it was, shoot, I guess maybe it was before that. Let me,
Hey, I don't want this coming back on me, but this person's in my DMs just like you. And I was speaking to about, okay? I own a YouTube channel. I'm a public figure. You want to send me anything and I share it anywhere. Your expectation of privacy is not there. There is nothing wrong with me. I wanted to share everything that anybody has ever sent me.
Did you get that? I'm gonna play that for you again. If you send anything to Lana, there is no expectation of privacy. None. Because she's a public figure. So in Lana's mind, public figures get to do anything they want with your private information. All right? Listen.
And I was speaking to about, okay? I own a YouTube channel. I'm a public figure. You want to send me anything and I share it anywhere. Your expectation of privacy is not there. There is nothing wrong with me. I wanted to share everything that anybody has ever sent me. I'm allowed to record any conversation. I live in the state of Ohio. Look the fucking laws up.
So that's the truth. That's how she sees it. You have no expectation of privacy. And therefore, a person who believes that there's no expectation of privacy for anybody because she's a public figure, a person who we can show over and over and over again with documented proof that she lies with a straight face. She insults our intelligence on a daily basis. And had the motive, the means, and the opportunity to be Rocketman, I would say that's your Rocketman right there. Rocketman. So, does anybody want to poke holes in my reasoning there? Anyone? I mean, in my thumbnail, I said, prove me wrong. Now, there's one thing I know that she likes to try to throw out there to, say, oh, she'll probably say, the account was made on May 28th and the panel was happening on May 27th. So the person had to have been in another time zone, in a time zone that is much further in the future. No. It just means that the clock on your device that you use to create the account was on that time zone. It doesn't even have to be VPN. It can be VPN, Godspilla. but it doesn't even have to be VPN. I can sit here and change my time zone on my local computer's clock. And if I make a channel, it'll say it's that time. So, you know, that is, that's just the truth. You can change the date and time on your computer. You can't change the date. You can't change the date that a YouTube channel was made. There certainly can't do that. Teresa, you know, you bring up a good point. You ask, is there a YouTube category for nasty? I think that there should be warning stickers on channels. You know, because there are so many true crime channels that are really not true crime channels. Yeah, VPN definitely is easier, but both works, right? Anyway, there are true crime channels that are not true crime channels. There are, it just seems like if you call yourself a certain type of channel, you should be that type of channel. And there should be warning labels on there should be warning labels on channels that are really, you know, make it like, I wish there was a making shit up channel or making shit up label, warning label, the hog channel, right? I mean, that's a good descriptor, Godspilla, hog. I'm still looking to see if I've missed anybody poking any holes in my reasoning here. Poking any holes? No hole poking. Are you, after what I've just talked you through, are you as convinced as I am? Now, I can't take this to a court of law, and I would never. I wouldn't take this to a court of law, and I wouldn't go out there and say factually, I know 100% for sure that Lana is Rocketman. But Lana has gone out and said that I am for sure Rocketman. So it doesn't stop her from making, you know, I just have much higher standards. I just have much higher standards. I'm not willing to stoop to her level. I think you should catch up with, according to Lean, you both have same morals and value. I would love to see you both discuss. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So that's what I wanted to show you today. I hope you agree. I want to real quickly share Godspilla's channel in the chat. I know she's in the chat, but just since I've so liberally been going through her video, I want to make sure that I share her channel here. Hold on one moment. One moment, please. Really do check out Godspilla's videos. I think, you know, I appreciate a creator that is clearly doing what they're doing for the passion of it. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted. Who's doing something for the passion of it and is being very you're welcome, Godspilla, and is doing their best to adhere to facts. You know, it is really, really dead easy to sit here and make things up because people will believe you if you make things up. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I made stuff up and people went, yeah, it does feel like a moral obligation. I agree with that, Godspilla. And the only thing standing between you and making stuff up to get more views and more subs is your own moral compass. And unfortunately, YouTube makes it very, very easy for you to ditch the moral compass, because it's so much easier to come on YouTube and lie and make money than it is to adhere to facts, have some ethics, want to protect certain people, want to protect victims. It's actually harder work. It's harder work because you have to double check things. It takes longer. So, yeah, honest people don't tell you they're honest. Exactly. So, I do very much appreciate you all being here and visiting with me tonight as I walk through this with you. I appreciate you all being very respectful in the chat, and yeah, I really do. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next installment. They are always from Godspilla. They are always much anticipated videos. And please remember to hit the thumbs up here, and also remember to go sub up to my other channel, Disorder in the Court. I haven't been live on Disorder in the Court in the last week because there hasn't been a trial I've wanted to stream. I was going to go live and talk about some craziness that happened in the Young Thug case, but I got sidelined by some plumbing issues at my house. But I plan to start going live on that channel soon with some more court trials to stream. And so again, thank you for being here, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you, and talk to you later. Bye.